36 years old Leon Balogun played yesterday for Rangers Football Club. For the whole of the game, played 90 minutes and then played an extra 30 minutes of extra time to complete it 120 minutes last night as he helped Rangers Football Club of Scotland to defeat Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce. And I was very impressed personally because, given his age, he's 36 years old, but he can still play at top level and play for such extended minutes. Uh, but the most important thing is that he helped his team progress into the quarterfinals of the Europa League. But it's not just about him. We also saw the Odessas make an appearance for that game, played up to 60 something minutes before being substituted. Unfortunately, they lost that game to Jose Mourinho, 2 goals to 0. But the saving grace for them was that they already, had the victory in the first leg, 3-1 victory. I'm sure you recall that the Seredasas was the man that actually inspired that victory, scoring a goal and assisting as well. So that victory was enough for them to go into extra time after losing 2-0 for yesterday's game. And luckily for them, they emerged victorious after the extra time, after the penalty shootout. But again, it just shows us that we have a lot of options. Despite some people might say Leon Balogun is old, he's 36 and things like that. But this man is still a very valuable asset, and I'm sure what he said the other time, that he still has it, he can still represent. I'm sure he has proven himself now, and stakeholders who are watching now know that this man can really perform and can actually come in, as a backup if you have any injury issues going forward. But moving beyond that, guys, we also had some interesting, you know, uh, updates concerning the guys that are being expected in camp. But this is not very good, as Moses Simon, is now a major doubt to make appearance for the Super Eagles games against Rwanda and Zimbabwe. And this is coming from his coach, the coach of his Nantes Football Club. He's now come out to say that Moses Simon is really struggling, with his ankle. That since he injured his ankle of several months ago and had operation and then rehabilitation and came back, that he has not remained the same. He's not been able to maintain that 100% fitness. He's always had one or two discomfort or pain around that ankle region. So he came out recently after their last game against Strasbourg over the weekend, uh, and gave some update concerning Moses Simon. As a matter of fact, Moses Simon was substituted in that game very early on. I think he just played 20 minutes before being removed. And the coach came out, after that game to say that Moses Simon, is having some really difficult time. He said he didn't really even train very much, in the uh, in the previous weeks preparing for the games. That most of the times he stayed in the gym and then just trained 1 or 2 times before the games. So he said this man is still struggling, and that has now been passed. This information has now been passed to the Super Eagles management, and right now they're still trying to assess the situation to see if the man is going to be fit enough to, to come to the camp. But just to relate it in his own words, the coach of Moses Simon in the club, in the Niners Football Club, says Moses hasn't trained all week. He stayed in the gym on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but he completed this session today. His ankle is still hurting. There's obviously some concern. We're managing it, but for him, it's complicated. So that's the latest coming in from Moses Simon camp right now. And I personally am not happy with this news because I value Moses Simon very very much. What he does in the flank for the Super Eagles, his speed, his agility, his ability to bring meaningful crosses that can actually lead to goal cannot be underemphasized. But for what it's worth, we hope and pray that this guy can be fit to help us in that flank. But moving away from that, Victor OSIMHEN has come out to talk about his conversations with new head coach Eric Shell, and Victor Osimhen is saying that Eric Shaw didn't get the chance to meet him in person, but he had an extended conversation with him on the phone. And from everything that they talked about, the coach made him understand that he wants to prioritize, uh, working with the big boys or the senior team, the senior players, the guys that have stayed in, the guys that have made many appearances for the Super Eagles and are kind of established members of the team. So he hopes to work with these guys, and he's saying that he wants to be like, you know, a brother or uncle figure to them, that he wants them to be the ones to inspire and motivate the other youngsters. That what he's demanding from them now, as the senior players of the team is commitment, 100% commitment, energy, uh, uh, passion, pressure, everything on the training, just so that they can, show how serious the project is, and then inspire the young boys that are coming through. This is what he says. He says, Eric Shell says that if you don't show this energy as a senior team player, you know, if you don't show this energy, you don't run after every ball, chase them to the very last of it. You don't show the commitment. You don't push yourself 100%. Then obviously he's not going to work with you. He's not going to put you to play. So Coach Shah is going to be very demanding of these guys because he wants to use them as the senior players as inspiration. Their dedication, hard work, energy, and passion to inspire all the other players. So Victor Osimhen said this in Obi-Wan's podcast. It was one of the topics that Mikel Obi asked him. And just to relate them in his own words, Osimhen said, uh, I know him from the previous AFCON, but the Malian team, he's a coach that loves to play and he really loves to fight. He's going to be very demanding. He said that he needs me and the senior players on the team to work with him to achieve amazing things for Nigeria. But he said that one who does not run or fight for every ball will not play. He was clear with me. He said he can be a big brother or an uncle to everyone, but on the pitch it is business. If the younger players see us running crazy, they will do it also. He said I might scream at you guys, I might do a lot of stuff, but don't take it to heart. And I agree with him because Nigeria is a big country with millions of players. If you're privileged to put on the Super Eagles jersey, you have to give everything. We've got a coach that is very demanding. So that's about the summary of Victor Osimhen's conversation with the coach. The coach wants them to be an example, for all of the others. And again, the camp is set to open this Sunday, whereby we'll see the guys start to troop in to make appearances and then prepare for that game against Rwanda coming up.